is our Friday morning coffee chat. Today's topic is the Family Lighthouse. We've had that as an integral part of our community for a lot of years. Pandemic came and shattered that thing to pieces. Now we want to rev that back up. And we have as our special guest today, Mr. Brian Johnson, who will be the chief leader, the principal of the elementary campus next year, and Mrs. Garrison, who is really the heart and soul of guiding us in our Lighthouse efforts in every way. So we have her here to answer any questions we might have as well. So welcome, Mr. Johnson. I'm so glad that you joined us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Very excited.
All right, we're going to kick off with a couple of videos that might spark some ideas and maybe clarify what the Lighthouse team is about.
On our Lighthouse team, we have 3 parents that participate, and they help share news and help us make decisions and lead action teams. In addition, we have a community business partner who also serves on our Lighthouse team, and they bring in community perspectives to our team as well. As our leadership grew,
second year, we followed the passion of our children and found a project outside that had a ripple effect not only on our students, but on our parent population and into the community. It was the clear cut that took down the forest where the kids played. They were outraged, but as leaders, they stood up. Instead of being reactive, they were proactive. And we decided to take this 2-acre piece of overgrown school district property that was completely ignored and change it into an outdoor classroom where kids could study science outdoors. They could get close to nature. So we have a group of parents who bring the kids out here, teach science lessons, and we have a parent who is a retired scientist writing the lessons in a very progressive sort of way so that they're getting different lessons, bringing them out here and really connecting them to the earth.
This year we formed a Parent Lighthouse Committee to try to basically do 2 things. We want to bring the parents into the school to nurture the leader in me here, and then also to educate the parents in order to have that home piece.
Parents who are involved actually are really energetic about it, and some who it's their first time say, wow, I'm just impressed and amazed at what's going on here.
You know, anything we asked them to do, they were willing to support us. It's amazing to see from day one of the Parent Lighthouse Team to where we're at now.
Problems can be opportunities, and that's what we've learned here. We've learned that an overgrown piece of school district property could be an amazing classroom for kids to learn science. Because really, it's a paradigm shift. It's how you look at it. And it's amazing the solutions that our children can come up with. And where children lead, adults follow.
So as an introduction, Miss Garrison, can you give us just a short, what is the Lighthouse Team, Family Lighthouse Team meant to us in the past? And I'm going to show one more video, but what would that mean in the future in your vision?
So in the past, the Parent Lighthouse Team was always this group of parents, family members, guardians, who come in and basically the purpose is to have a voice and to be a partner, with the school in terms of implementing the 7 habits and the Leader in Me program across from school to home, from home to school, to communicate those same values and principles and principles of habits, back and forth from home to school, and also to collaborate on projects and events. Our fall community, our fall festival, our spring festival, Teachers Appreciation Week, the book fair, many of the events at our school really are, the idea is for it to be planned in partnership with the Parent Lighthouse Team.
Yeah. One of the things I don't want to see happen is sometimes the parent group thinks that they need to be a fundraising machine, and that's not it. We have money. And we don't want this to be a fundraiser machine. We really want it to be a culture raiser machine. One more video, and then I'm going to ask Mr. Johnson, what's your vision and how are we going to go forward on this thing?
Aging parents and families and what's happening at school. At one time or another, this is a very real issue for even the most creative school teams. Today, we hear from a parent who's also a Lighthouse team member. Once a month, Jen attends the Lighthouse Team meetings at 8 a.m. and, as she shares, brings a unique strength to the team.
As a parent, I'm able to see where we're talking about something that parents might not understand the context, and that's something that we can define for the parents. The other thing I think that's an advantage for being a parent rep on the Lighthouse Team is I can identify ideas or topics that might be interesting to parents. Sometimes staff, teachers, they might think something's applicable, but it might not really land with the parents. So how do we make sure that the content is geared toward parents, they'll actually read it, and maybe even implement it?
Jen's primary responsibility, as she's just started in this role this year, is to write the 7 Habits Parent Connection for their newsletter.
So for me, that's just taking the monthly focus that they already have and seeing an element in that habit that parents might not fully comprehend at home. It might be just defining some of that language, or it also might be pointing them towards the student's agenda, because there's a section of the student agenda dedicated to the 7 habits with the suggestions of things to do. So trying to tie all that information together for parents.
Obviously, this is a win for the school and the parents, and it's also a win for Jen.
I'm very excited that I'm using my voice and I'm being heard. I have a natural tendency to write and create, so working with the newsletter is a natural outlet. It's letting me kind of grow that ability. And also, it's helping me develop my understanding of the 7 habits and implement even more of my in my own life at home. I really like helping people, and so it's exciting for me to be helping families implement more of the 7 habits in their own lives as well.
With an eye to the future and with the support of the Lighthouse Team, Jen is also looking to get more involved with their family nights and school council meetings, as well as looking more at things the school is already doing that could communicate and translate back to the home, such as their leadership assemblies and 7 Habits families training. To close things off today, I asked the school principal, Claudette Fiddler, what advice she would share around inviting parents to participate at this level.
To just give it a try. Don't be afraid. Trust the process, and communication is certainly key. And make sure it is authentic. If you're having a parent on your Lighthouse Team, make sure that they do have a voice and they have a way of sharing their knowledge, their ideas as well.
What kinds of things are you doing with your parents to involve them more in what's happening at the school? Let us know. Comment below. That rhymed.
All right, I'm going to see if any parents want to jump in on actually the call. Oh, we have Mrs. Smith on. Promote to panelist. Raise your hand on here if you want to be on our panel. I've got several wonderful people here. Some of you I might just push on anyway. All right, there you go, Miss Hobage. Mr. Johnson, give us some vision.
I think it's a great idea. It sounds like it's something you all have started. I would love to be able to continue, and I think as a group together, we can improve. And things like this are always a work in progress, and you're going to have different people that are coming in and out. But at the same time, I'm a big mission and vision guy. If that's part of the mission and vision, and for me, I love staying focused on this.
In the old days, we always have a morning assembly. It's one of the most energetic moments in the day. In fact, this morning, little Bella, who Miss Hobage knows and loves, she's on our Scholar Lighthouse team. We have the layers of leadership. So here's this 4th grader organizing a lot of K through 2 graders on the stage and helping them to get organized where they're supposed to stand and the actions of our songs, everything like that. So I'm so proud of that layer of leadership. The next layer is that parent. So in the old days, we'd have morning assembly, and we had maybe 50 parents in the back of the Capinasium, and then they would all go over into the resource center, which used to be a place for parents to be. We can find a new space, for them to once a month, they just come over there and we just have a meeting, and we'd plan what we wanted to do. I would listen to them, and as they would say, hey, here's a thing that's not going quite right. Can you help us with this? And we would, as a team, work on solutions for that. One of the things that the Family Lighthouse team has become legendary at our school for is that Teacher Appreciation Week. I mean, that was usually an amazing event, a week. They were legendary on planning our fall festival and making sure that it was focused on our mission. Spring festival, movie nights, volunteering. Volunteering in the classroom. They organized that. All kinds of things. One of the next layers that I would like to see is we have never had this. We've asked for it, but we've never had it. Have actually a parent who sits on the Lighthouse team, because there's a staff Lighthouse team, there's a school Lighthouse team, and we've always wanted one, and we've asked, but people are busy. But we'd love it for when our Lighthouse teams meet on once a month, that parent comes and sits on that team with us. Yeah, Victoria, wouldn't that would help? Yeah,
That's the idea, definitely.
Yeah. Anybody else want in on the conversation? One of the beauties also of the first video, did you notice that they said that some of those parents even organized science events and looked at maybe not curriculum, but looked at embedding some science and activities inside of what we did outside. I know that we have parents who are, we have a parent who's a stay-at-home mom, but spent 10 years as a social worker. We have parents who are professionals in the corporate world. We have parents who are scientists. We have parents who are all around. I mean, just good people. We'd love for them to embed themselves in what we're doing. Miss Hobage, talk to us. What's your vision? Because you've been asking for this for how long?
Good morning. I love it all. I used to be very involved in my daughter's classrooms, always on field trips, helping out in any event. And it has been really hard to sit on the sidelines for a couple of years. But I'm glad it's finally back, and I am glad you asked me to be here, and I look forward to it. Bella loves being part of the Student Lighthouse team, so I want to help her and lead by example. Actually, she's probably teaching me at this point, so I'll let her lead by example, and I'll follow her example.
She's a remarkable young woman, as are everybody on that Lighthouse team, and there was many others who applied, but we could only take so many. They were all amazing. I want to, Mr. Johnson, I want you to make sure on your calendar for next year there's a couple of events. Now that I'm not going to be principal again, and I'd reach right through this screen and kiss you on your forehead, Mr. Johnson, because nobody knows how grateful I am to have been principal again, but also that I don't have to be here and do all the different things. So one thing that I used to give the Family 7 Habits training, and I want to do that again. It was usually once a week in the evening for 8 weeks. And it was a wonderful time for the parents to understand the 7 habits and the culture of Paideia. And I want to do that again. So plug me in, I'll have time and the energy to do it. Ms. Garrison, there's any other events or any other things that we used to do that you'd like to resurrect then with Mr. Johnson, Ms. Hobage, and all these other good people? Oh, we got a Zoom user with a hand raised.
Oh, good.
All right. Zoom user, that's a great name, by the way. You are allowed to talk.
This is the first time I've used it on my phone, so this is Ophelia.
I recognize your voice. Good to hear you.
I'm at the gym right now, so don't show my face.
Board.
Okay, just a couple of things that were a challenge. The last time we had a pretty robust parent meetings and volunteers of this. There was parents that could come in the morning and then parents that wanted to participate, but they could only come in the evening. So that was really a challenge. And then I think whoever's gonna lead up the Lighthouse meeting, I just think that once, I'm assuming we're gonna start this next year, that we just do some real communication to parents, and so that we have a really good, robust first meeting, so it doesn't discourage other people. Because typically, sometimes what happens is that we get the same people at the meetings that are organizing all the work. So we really need to make it, very inclusive and accommodating to parents to be able to participate.
Yeah, okay, very good. I agree.
Do you think that using this form and a form in person would be a good format for parents? The world's changed so much that, we're sitting here, I don't know where you all are. I'm in Goodyear. Everybody's everywhere, and we're still able to have this meeting recorded and shared. So I think we have the technology, some different ways to be able to communicate that. And I was also going to say one other thing about being a parent. My dad was a scientist when he was alive. He would come in and to my classroom and do science stuff. When I was a kid in elementary school, my mom would come in, and my mom, she came in and she was a book lady. She taught us all sorts of, I don't know, it was a big impact on me as a kid. So I think it's cool.
That's a great question. The format. So is it live? Is it Zoom? Is it live plus Zoom? Because it's nice to record these as well. What's your thought on that, Ophelia? You've been here forever.
I think the option to be in person and to have it via Zoom is very, very good idea. That's excellent. I think we could probably have someone do one in the evening if that's better for parents, or if people want to meet face to face, or someone's at work and they could take some time off to jump on the call. I think that'd be great.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and this is, we're recording all of our coffee chats, so then they can be archived and somebody can keep up that way. Yeah. Oh, Crystal, Miss Holbe, you just have your hand up still. You just feel free to talk.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think in person is awesome. I'm very much of an in-person type. The Zoom thing, I learned it and did it because of, what happened a couple of years back. But if we could do the in-person and maybe offer it as well at the same time for Zoom people, for the ones who, can't get out of work until that time, but could probably jump on the call for about 15-30 minutes, then that gives everybody the opportunity.
Yeah. Miss Rodriguez, I just saw you pop in. If I accidentally did that, I apologize because I was tootling around. And did you have a comment or anything you'd like to add to this?
No, I think you just unmuted me. I'm just listening.
Sorry about that. I'll try to get you. Well, anyway, just sorry. All right, Mrs. Smith, anything from you that you would like to see from the Family Lighthouse Team perspective?
No, I'm just all about it. I'm excited to see what people come up with, because I know parents have a lot of ideas too, and I'm excited to bring people in and see what people's expertise or creativity has to offer. So it's just exciting.
Oh, yeah, totally. All right, Katie, I'm gonna try to put you back. Okay, very good. Don't want to embarrass anybody any more than I already do. Oh, very good.
Well, I just want to mention a couple of opportunities we actually have coming
Okay,
up.
good.
first, we want to encourage parents to please fill out the our parent survey. So there's a we call it the MRA. It's called Measurable Results Assessment, and we ask for input from our scholars, from our parents and families, and also from our staff, and that helps us receive the feedback we need about the 7 habits and the leader in me. And we have 3 areas we focus on: leadership, culture, and academics. So we would love for you all to fill that out. I think it's in the newsletter. The link is in the newsletter. And I'll also repost that link on Class Dojo as well to give you access to that survey. And then another opportunity, if there's anyone available next week, we have the book fair next week, and we're going to be up in the Owl's Nest, which is our it's actually our staff faculty area upstairs, and there's an entrance to that from the outside, from the playground. There's a set of steps that will guide you up to enter the book fair. So it's in a different location this year, but we would love to have a couple parents come out during our lunch period to help us with getting the kids up those steps and inside the book fair. So if you're available next week, please email me, Victoria Garrison, vgarrison@paideia.com, or just check in with the front office and they'll get you in touch with me so that we could certainly use the help next week. And if you're coming to the book fair, we're open before school, after school, and at lunch. And if you're coming, you'll see there'll be signs guiding you on how to enter the book fair.
All right. A couple other things was mentioned. Next year, we will have the agenda back, and it'll be the Lighthouse agenda. So one of those parents on the video said she was able to check the agenda, have home time based upon 7 habits from the agenda. We'll reinstitute that program again, and an extended day program next year to continue to provide education, opportunity, and enrichment for those who want to have an extended school day. Congratulations on that, Mr. Johnson. You're looking like, what?
No, I'm looking at Zoom and it's doing weird things. I apologize. I realize that my face is showing.
Let's see. Thank you. All right. So next week, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Thank you, Ms. Garrison. And thank you, Ms. Hobage, and all of our other guests. Next week, Ms. Garrison and I are going to chat with the librarian. What's the librarian's name again?
Miss Laura.
Sanchez, Laura.
We're going to call her Miss Laura
Miss
from
Laura.
the South Mountain Community Library.
South Mountain Community Library. So we have our guest speaker is the South Mountain Community Librarian, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the summer reading program, how you can come and get a free, well, they're always free, but to help us to knock down any barriers, get your library card for your family, for your kids, and we want to ramp up the reading during the summer months. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Enjoy the next 15 days. Actually, you're going to be here. Are you going to be at that last week, right? Promotion. And
I'll try to be there for as many things as I can. May is going to be a lot more flexible, and I am. You might even see me at the book fair. Who knows?
Awesome. All right, thank you guys. Next week, same time, same channel. Bye.